Hey guys, what is up? I'm in a good place. I think that it's taken me a long time to get here, and I'm glad I'm here. And I'll just sort of like try to explain and give you a little bit of backstory on what I'm talking about.
But if you don't, just let me go. Teacher.
I think now, especially more than ever, I feel like when we surround ourselves in a mess and chaos, it's because something else is definitely going on. Honestly, I've always been sort of a messy person. I've never been truly organized or just really on top of stuff, and it's always bothered me, to be honest. Like, I was never that kid whose room was perfectly cleaned and all of her dolls were lined up really nice and the bed was always made. Like, I'd get out of bed, I didn't care about making it. When it was time to clean my room up, I was the one that shoved stuff under my bed. I hated when it was time to clean up. I have an older sister, and her room was always clean, and my room was always looking ratchet, looking like a hot mess, looking like who did it and what for, looking like a damn tornado came through and like messed everything up and left it. And I didn't care. Like, it wasn't a big deal to me. And I think that I've had to learn that perhaps we are to be taught how to clean, or how to be clean, or why it's even important to clean. I didn't care about that stuff when I was younger, and I feel like my mom, she never really sort of like taught us and like explained and really sort of like put an importance as to why we needed to clean things up. It was always just kind of like, get your room cleaned up, and then it's like, I want to clean up my room, so I go shove everything over here and nobody's gonna see it. As long as nobody sees it, everything is okay. And then I had one of those like really deep like journal prompting, you know, life-changing questions pop into my head, and it was just kind of like, what does that sound like? It sounds like something that happens in our lives, no? I mean, I feel sort of like being clean and tidy and organized and having your physical things in order parallels with having your personal or your inner things in order. And because I've been sort of at this place where I'm trying to just feel good, like, I don't know if you want to call it soul searching, I don't know if I'm having a freaking, I don't know, midlife crisis. At what age does somebody even have a midlife crisis? Like, I think a midlife crisis is in midlife, which would be like in your 50s, right? Or I don't know, it depends on how long you live, I guess. That being said, there's the little backstory. I've never been clean. My mom would always make little comments to me like, you're gonna have rats and stuff at your house, like as if, you know, because I really wasn't clean, and I don't think that she even expected me to be the one that's gonna keep everything clean and tidy and organized. I used to like trade and swap and barter stuff with my sisters and my niece for them to clean my room. Like, my sister was really good at cleaning my room, and so was my niece, and they could do it so fast. It's like what would take me all day, not only take me all day, but then give me anxiety once, because I'm the type of person that'll pull everything out and then sit there and look at it all and like legit want to start crying, because like, why the hell do I have so much stuff and where does it go? What I have learned recently about myself, especially at this point in my life, is that clutter and chaos and too much stuff really gives me anxiety, you guys. And like, ain't nobody got time for that. Like, anxiety, really? But it does, like, it makes me physically feel a certain way in my body. It changes my mood. Literally everything about clutter bugs me. And I'm not saying that my house is perfectly clean. I'm not saying that I don't still have clutter or harbor clutter. This is years and years of being a certain type of way, and now learning to change that way. But I'm changing it based on the things that make me feel good, based on the things that make me feel happy. So bringing you to current day. Okay, no, we're not gonna go to current day yet. So going back a few years ago. In 2013, my brother passed away, and I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this before, and it's not that I try to always bring that up, but I can pinpoint that time as a time where everything sort of fell apart. And the hardest part about that is I met my husband that year. I met my husband in January of the year that my brother died. And then in July, my brother passed away. So not only was I in this new, fresh relationship that seemed really good and seemed like it was going somewhere, and then I have like this pretty much like major tragedy happen in my life. After that happened, I got really just like, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you how I grieved until maybe a year or two later when I finally realized what was happening. I didn't realize that I was grieving, and holding on to clutter and being a pack rat and just hanging on to everything. It's not good, it's not healthy, and it sort of just became something that I didn't care about my house. It would be clean on the surface. I'm not saying people would come over and it would be like, oh honey, like, do you need help? Like, it wasn't that bad. I would just throw stuff in drawers. Nothing really had a place. I had so many what Fly Lady would call hot spots, or, you know, nothing was organized. I could never find anything. And I think that used to piss me off more than anything else in the world, was when I would be looking for something and I could never find it. I was like, you know what, this is crazy. And one year my cousin came out to visit. She lives in Texas. And she goes, oh, like, I've never seen your house look like this. And it was just like, I neglected a lot of things during that time because I was really trying to figure things out. Like, I was trying to figure out death. I was trying to figure out what is the point of life. I was trying to figure out who we are, what we are. I was trying to figure out who was God, what was God, like, why was this happening? Like, I wanted answers. I was like really on like a spiritual thing. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, really genuinely getting tired of clutter and decluttering and cleaning and letting things go so that you can feel light and airy and joyful and happy. It really boils down to being a spiritual thing. I mean, this becomes mind, body, spirit. This is like 1,000-fold here. It's all a part of it. I was in a phase where I was really into my journal and I was answering all these questions for myself. And then I started thinking, like a lot of us do naturally, like, does anybody else think like me? Like, am I the only one that feels this way? Like, we all want to experience like this sense of connection with someone, right? Somebody's on our team, somebody's in our corner, somebody's got our back, somebody like is here. We're here, you and me. We're here, right? Okay. I asked the question, what do you guys do with your mail? What do you do with your mail? One of the biggest clutter problems I was having was papers. Papers every damn where. Like, just papers. Papers that the kids bring home from school. Papers that my husband brings home from work. Papers because I write notes on everything. Papers because we just have some. Papers because the kids draw. Papers because we have mail. Just papers. It was really pissing me off because, like, you can only keep so much mail in a certain place. I tried the whole idea of making like a little command center right in the kitchen, and that was a flop because all that ended up doing was creating like more mail on my counter. I needed to know, what the hell do other people do with their mail? And so I started getting back like all these responses, and a lot of people on my Facebook were responding and saying like some really cool stuff. And then one of my friends says, read the book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. And I was like, like, huh? And she's like, read the book. And so I go online, I download the book, literally almost immediately. During that time in the mornings, I was walking Michaela back and forth to school, so I listened to the audio of the book every single day, and I was really taking it in, and I came home and I implemented the stuff that I was doing. Now, if you have been riding with me on this channel, you are definitely my favorite friend, and you know that some of the very first videos that I put up were like organizational videos. I think the first one I did was a closet organization. That video was literally me putting into practice the life-changing magic of tidying up. Me and my friend did my whole closet, and it felt so good. Like when I was done, I was like, holy shit, I had a gang of stuff. First of all, half the stuff in my closet didn't even fit. It was just like, this was becoming a big deal. It was kind of like, why do I have this stuff? Why am I holding on to these things that don't mean anything to me? And I think the more and more I go through this process and through this journey, the more and more I'm starting to realize that the stuff that I want to surround myself with, I want it to be positive things. I want it to be things that spark joy in my life. I want it to be things that I look at and make me smile because I love it. I don't want to look at something inside of my damn house, inside of my room, inside my garage, inside my driveway, my yard, anything, and be like, ugh, I hate that. Why is it here? Because I feel like that's already just like a negative energy. That causes stress. It causes you to feel some kind of a way, right? Which isn't good. Why have it? Why have it? Because you don't have to. We don't have to have anything we don't want to. So anyways, as I started this process of decluttering, which basically I spent pretty much all of last year, 2016, going through different areas and just decluttering my home, and it really started making me just feel lighter and better. It was almost like as if I was dropping pounds off my body, but it was just weight coming out of my house. I was freeing up space to invite in all the new things that I wanted. And so then I started realizing that what type of message am I sending out into the world? Am I sending out into the universe? What am I saying when I just hold on to stuff that I don't deserve, the things that I truly want, but I'm gonna hold on to this stuff just in case I may never get another expensive thing like this. Like, these are the reasons that I have held on to things. You know, I don't know about you, I'm only gonna speak for myself here, but you know, these are the reasons that I've held on to things. And sometimes that's hard to admit. We are all chasing feelings, you guys. We're chasing feelings. You want $1 million because you want to be able to buy yourself everything because you want to feel happy, or you are working so hard because you want to get a promotion, because you want to become the boss of your company, because you want to feel accomplished, proud. We're all chasing feelings. And so the thing of it is, how do you want to feel? Do you know how you want to feel? You want to feel happy? Do you want to feel joyful? You want to feel accomplished? You want to feel confident? Do you want to feel motivated? Because all of these different ways that you want to feel, they require different things. So I want to feel good. I want to feel happy, and that's how I was starting to feel as I was getting rid of a bunch of stuff. And then from there, I started seeing cleaning videos on YouTube. I am on this journey to a cleaner life, a cleaner house, a decluttered life and house, simply just because it makes me feel good. It sparks joy in my life to have things organized and tidy. And I feel like I'm doing a service to my children. I'm teaching them something for life. I'm teaching them something. You know, we can't just brush everything under the rug in life. We can't act as if things don't happen and that if they're out of sight, they're out of mind. We can't do that, because just because something is out of sight, out of mind, you've never tackled the root of the problem. And that's what I did as a kid. You know, again, if it was out of sight, my room looked clean. It appeared to be clean, but that was just on the surface. It was a facade. If you opened my closet, you'd probably get knocked down by all of the stuff that was going to fall out and hit you. And at that rate, you make double the work, and it's even harder. Little life lesson for you guys on cleaning. But basically, that is pretty much my cleaning story, you guys. That is why I feel like I've taken on like a little love for cleaning. That's why I do the cleaning videos that I do, and really just in hopes to motivate you guys. So now when I go in and we get ready to spring clean, you know, you guys are on board and you're down, and you know, you're ready to be motivated to get your spaces cleaned up. And you know, I mean, just understand that it takes time, and that's really the place that I'm in now, is that cleaning takes time. Like, especially if you come from a background like me where cleaning just wasn't something that you really cared about, and so you look around and realize that you've got a lot of shit and you've got to let it go. You've got to let it go. It's time to let go. Throw out the stuff that no longer serves you. Let go of the things and the clutter and the people in your life that are toxic. And it is spring, so it is time to start fresh everything is fresh in the spring, right? The roses, the flowers, the fruit. Oh my gosh, like everything about spring is just this newness, this new life, this freshness. And I think it's just a really awesome time to talk about cleaning. I think it's a really awesome time to talk about, you know, the importance of cleaning and things like that. So I'm sorry if this bored you to freaking death, but I just wanted to share my cleaning story and my cleaning journey, because, you know, it's easy to watch these videos on YouTube and just, you know, I'm guilty. I watch a lot of cleaning videos. I watch a lot of like videos on YouTube and I feel like, gosh, like how come nobody ever taught me that? Or I wish my home was always clean like that. And I want anybody else out there that might be in the same position as me to understand that not everybody was organized, not everybody was tidy, not everybody was clean. Some of these things are things that we have to learn, and ultimately we're learning them for a reason. You know, just remember, every step of the way is a step of the journey. So look around your space, look around and ask yourself, like, does everything in here make me ooh and ah? Do I love the things that I am surrounded by? Do they make me feel happy? Do they make me feel, you know, peaceful? Do they make me feel comforted? All of these things in the home or the space that you live in. And it doesn't have to be a home. I mean, hell, if you live in your car, like, dude, does the stuff in your car make you feel good? Does the stuff in your car, is it clean? Is it fresh? Do you wipe down the dash and the windows, or do you leave them all like tore back and spotty? But anyways, you guys, that is it for this little peek into my life. And I am going to finish drinking my coffee that I've had sitting right here and go relax. I will catch you guys later.